Yeah, you know what they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Oh, hey, it'd be 5 o'clock here. That is not quite showing up as good as it looks, but it's close. It seems they decided there's a slight chance of showers. I think it's for tomorrow. Which was interesting, and of course when they say it, they're laughing about it like that's not going to happen. Well, then what'd you mention it for? Oh well, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. If we do, there's going to be hopefully a bunch of wet bales instead of a bunch of wet windrow, but depending on how today goes. Either way, I got to get the irrigation going. Okay, it took me a little bit to get up here. And this is what I see. Looks a little better in real. I went to come past the cow lot, and there's a calf in there bellering, and there's a cow on the other side of the fence bellering. Happened to be the calves that number 2 kicked out of the wrong pen in the other end of the barn about 5 nights in a row. Stubborn little pain in the butt. I opened there's a gate right at the end of the, just where you can't see the trees in the way, but right at the end of the feed barn. I opened the gate, walk around, this calf looked right at the open hole for like 10 minutes. I bet it took me 15 minutes to get her out of there. And just in time too, because this other group is working their way up. I shut the feed barn so none of them could come in, and just in case they did come up. And by the time I was done, there was 5 cows in the feed barn and 3 calves. But obviously there's still a few of them that haven't made it that way yet. But they're working their way that way from all over. Okay. Another look at that. And I gotta get the tractor fired up and get moving the traveler. Otherwise it's not gonna be done when I want it to be done tomorrow morning. Oh, there's one of the babies. There's another one, and mommy. Or daddy, whichever one it is. I almost missed them this morning. But there's 2 of them anyway. The other one's not too far, I'm sure. I just haven't seen it yet. Because, you know, even though they are white and stick out like a sore thumb, they blend in too. Well, this rough son of a is done. 7 bales off 5 acres. Those bales should weigh almost 1,300 pounds. Give you an idea what we didn't get off this. And yeah, it's cloudy here. My moisture tester was running 21%, so it's actually around 10%, maybe 12%. It's still been a day. Number 1 blew that line. Apparently it's been rubbing on there, and we didn't notice that before. So she's gonna go to town and get a new one. And I got 2 knotters packed full of hay on the big baler, and I gotta go dig it out, but I had a doctor's appointment on the computer today, which didn't go too awful bad. So she's gonna get this off. It's fun too, because you know, you gotta get that off. There's 2 of those, and it's full. So hopefully, well, they got to be carried to bolt anyway. They shouldn't be able to back out because it's full. And she stopped and found her leak because she broke a shear bolt. Apparently there was a rock in the field.
I had 2.
So there was 2 rocks and a bunch of dirt. And I don't know how they are. I mean, there's never been any rocks in that field before. She didn't notice it when she run the tedder rake through it, and I didn't see anything when I raked it yesterday. It was right when she started in the field there next to the guy with the old rake that we got a bale for yet. I'm hoping we can get everything baled today. And obviously she found some dirt, but There's only disadvantage to these things. Usually when you break a shear bolt, it's because you plug the stuffer. And the only way to unplug that is to take this panel out of the back and dig it out. It's a pain in the ass. By yourself or with someone, it's still a pain in the ass. It's a little bit better if it's not full of tough stuff, but it's still a pain. Oh, they're finally going to get started. They got to go a quarter mile down the road here and take up the next road. And then they'll be in that field across the road from us. And we just got the new hose on here. The guy that had to make it was at lunch when she got in town. I don't like the way it's laying here right now, but getting that back together is a pain in the ass, so you end up with it where it's going to be and you can't turn the hose in it once it's on. But that's better than it was here. And hey, look, it can't rub on the dog arm or the dog rod from here. So that's a plus, right? And number one, getting another lesson in tying twine together. You do a square knot. She did the same knot that the baler does, but that won't go through everything to get to the bale. So, yeah. And dog's just got a rat down here, so that's a good thing.
Good boy.
Now I'm going to look and say, how come you did granny knots? Because that's a granny knot. That'll never make it out of the box. I thought I taught her last year.
Yeah, and I did the same way you did, and then you chewed my ass and said, no, you're doing it wrong. And Mom and I both looked at each other, and I did the exact same thing you did.
Because neither one of them can understand a square knot, but that's a granny that's going to pull right out. The heart of the beast. 6 of those suckers. 10 years ago, if you had to replace all those, it was $10,000. Number 2, all I got to do is drop this way back down between those 2 little bars, if you can see them. But I also have to pop this knotter up and get all that crap out of there. Number 2 got a wad of crap in it. Number 4 got a wad of crap in it. And number 4 currently has 2 pieces of twine that go to that bale and 2 pieces of twine off that bale, all still in the knotter. That's all the higher I can get it till I cut twine, and I hate having to cut it because then I know they ain't going to be on either bale. But that's what we got, so back at it. Since I had to get interrupted for this earlier, or for a doctor's appointment, and then get number 1 going again, and I can just, wind's blowing now, I can't hear her. I could hear her before I got up here. She's only about a quarter mile away. My mess. This isn't part of it. This is number 3. Number 3 knotter don't work anyway, so it just hangs here. Get my pliers out and start digging. Oh, there's a mess of twine there. Bottom twine on the next bale got caught in the knot. It came out of the knot. The other's still there. It's good. Clean it up. But I thought I'd show you this nice old screwdriver. That is a very important use. A lot of times a knot will get hung on a bill hook and it won't let loose. See if you can see it in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a bill hook there anyway. I can't find one that's got a lot of light to it. You can see it on this one. That piece right there. I take the end of this one, it's got one hung on it, put it in and give it a twist. And it opens it up, lets twine out. Then the notch in the end of it helps me close it back up. So that's my secret when one hangs. And you know they're hung on the bill hook when it ties a bale. These flags all jump up in the air. That's what they call those, is flags, reflectors. And then they pull back down. And every machine's a little different. This one's got its quirks. Number 1, which is that short one there, and number 5, if they're hung on a bill hook, both of those will be pulled down clear tight to the tin. The others will be down low, like number 6 over there, but they won't wiggle. And I'll get it, usually let it go maybe 10 plunger strokes. because it never fails. It screws up when you're least expecting it and you think it's going to go and then it doesn't. Caused my issue on the number 2 knotter. You can't get that hay off, it's all inside the knot. Isn't that nice? This piece of twine that was laying half behind the baler, I just got it pulled out of the bale. But I'm done messing with it, so back to work, eh? Well, it's been a day. I didn't get much video through the day. I ended up on the phone most of the time, so you know, it is what it is. But I finished making big bales. The only thing left over there is part of what we're going to make in little bales to sell to the neighbor. And number 1 finished up 2 pieces. I'm headed over to make sure she gets out of the one because there's a nasty hill in the way and you can't see if people are coming, and that road's a little narrower than this is right through here, and they fly at about 90 miles an hour. So, and somebody wants to ding me now. Yay. Might be her, I don't know. Anyway, right before I finished with the big baler, I saw a piece of metal laying in the field. It's a plunger roller. Oh, guess what? Lost a plunger roller bearing. It's probably time to change all of them. Luckily, our IH dealer, Case IH dealer that handled AGCO, when they sold out, the new outfit doesn't handle AGCO, but Heston made balers for Case IH. So they actually have 6 bearings, and I'll need 4 if I'm going to do it. The only thing missing is the bearing cap, which I think that's coming out of Reno. We'll have it Saturday or Monday, depending on how quick they are getting it out. So that'll give me time I'll get it together and put a rag over it while it sits there waiting for the cap, probably. And that's kind of it for the day. I'm going to make sure she gets moved and then bring the other tractor home after I clean it off some. Back her in the shed and see about tearing things apart. Maybe get you something here in a little bit. If you know, you know. Happened to see it laying next to a pile of chaff when I had, maybe 150 feet worth of windrows left to do. Unfortunately, I haven't found the cap for it yet. It's not that one. And it's not the 2 on the other side. But that one doesn't look right. So the cap might be laying right here in this junk. I'm going to carefully knock it out of there and see if I can find it. Freaking cap costs just over half of what the bearings cost. And it's been enough years. They got the bearings in town. $61 and change per bearing. I'm not going to complain too much. So we're going to do all 4 of them. But I got to get her cleaned up enough here. So when I get home, I'll back it back in the machine shed because that's the only place I can stuff it. Try to leave enough room to work around it. They aren't too bad to change. You just kind of, here's eye level for me, right? I just got to get a stool and a pry bar. Get the plunger moved forward and pull down on that handle. Locks it up so it can't turn. Oh, there. Each baler broke down today. I did finish. I could hear the plunger clunking a little bit on that last little bit I did. This done. Number 1 is just finishing the last little bit, custom job for the guy, which is 2 places over from here. She said she broke another shear bolt, but she's almost done. And hopefully she finishes baling this piece tonight. And then hopefully he's got enough help to get it all picked up before it does anything stupid. They're saying we might get showers in the morning, maybe. And there's the orb. Barely even tell it's there. It's like 76 degrees or something like that now. I know it made it up to 83. I think that's the highest it got. So I'm good with that. It's muggier than hell, but it don't feel too bad. So I'm gonna make a mess. My bad, I was gonna get you a little video of her bailing behind me, but I was kind of parked in her way at the corner and had to move. So she's gonna try to get this piece over here done tonight. I'll get this home and parked in the shed. See how many idiots are on the road. I already had one. I was blocking traffic so she could get out of the driveway she was in, and it's on a bad hump. Well, if it would have been the tractor, the guy would have hit it. Instead, he saw a pickup with a blinky light on top, and he hit the brakes because I was broadside in the road in front of him. And you just can't see. I don't know how the hell people do that when they have a driveway like that. I really don't. So, anyway, this might be the end of the video, and when I get home, maybe I'll get it started up. Be just about the normal time. I'd like to take care of a few other things before dinner. And I pass out. You know, it's getting to be that time of day. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully none of you got too hot weather today. I know quite a few people had a little cool down besides us. Feels good. It's kind of nice. I just want to see if you can see it. Look in the mirror. That guy, oh, he's backed off now. He was close enough that I'd get a ticket for not having a safety chain on his ass. He's got an asshole right behind him. And then we got this one that pulls up over the frickin' stop part of the intersection and wonders why my front end, or my tire almost takes their front end off. Gotta love it. And now the guy that was behind the pickup behind me, he's riding half in the other lane. I came over here, a little white car passed me down here coming off the bridge. He couldn't see. If I'd had duals in front of this tractor, he would have taken that phone stand right there out. So hey, this is just a friendly, put your head out of your ass, people. I want to get home safe without having to talk to the cops for a couple hours.